My name is Ogorogile Masemola. I'm in grade 7 at John Mitchell Primary School. Today I'll be reading Danny the Champion of the World chapter 17. The taxi. 2 minutes later we're safely inside the taxi and cruising slowly down the bumpy track towards the road. My father was bursting with pride and excitement. He kept leaning forward and tapping Charlie Kinch on the shoulder and saying, "How about it, Charlie? How about this for a haul?" And Charlie kept glancing back, pop-eyed at the huge bulging sacks. "Cripes, man," he kept saying. "How did you do it?" "Danny did it," my father said proudly. "My son Danny is the champion of the world." Then Charlie said, "I reckon pheasants is going to be a bit scarce up at Victor Hazel's opening day shoot tomorrow, eh, William?" "I imagine they are, Charlie," my father said. "I imagine they are." "All those fancy folk," old Charlie said, "driving in from miles around in their big shiny cars, and there won't be a blinking bird anywhere for them to shoot." Charlie Kinch started chuckling and chuckling so much he nearly drove off the track. "Dad," I said, "what on earth are you going to do with all these pheasants?" "Share them among our friends," my father said. "There's a dozen of them for Charlie here to start it. All right, Charlie?" "That suits me," Charlie said. "Then there'll be a dozen for Dr. Spencer and another dozen for Enoch Samways." "You don't mean Surgeon Samways?" I guessed. "Of course," my father said. "Enoch Samways is one of my very oldest friends." "Enoch's a good boy," Charlie Kinch said. "He's a lovely lad." Sergeant Enoch Samways, as I knew very well, was the village policeman. He was a huge, plump man with a bristly black mustache, and he strode up and down our high street with the proud and measured tread of a man who knows he is in charge. The silver buttons on his uniform sparkled like diamonds, and the mere sight of him frightened me so much I used to cross over to the other side of the street whenever he approached. "Enoch Samways likes a piece of roasted pheasant as much as the next man," my father said. "I reckon he knows a thing or two about catching them as well," Charlie Kinch said. I was astounded, but I was also rather pleased because now that I knew the great Sergeant Samways was human like the rest of us, perhaps I wouldn't be so scared of him in the future. "Are you going to share them out tonight, Dad?" I asked. "Not tonight, Danny. No. You must always walk home empty-handed after a poaching trip. You can never be sure Mr. Rabbit or one of his gang isn't waiting for you by the front door to see if you are carrying anything." "Ah, but he's a crafty one, that Mr. Rabbit is," Charlie Kinch said. "The best thing is to pour a pound of sugar in the petrol tank of his car when he ain't looking. Then he can't ever come swooping around your house later on." We always made sure to give the keepers a little sugar in their tanks before we went out on a poach. "I'm surprised you didn't bother to do that, William, especially on a big job like this one." "What does the sugar do?" I asked. "Blimey, it gums up the whole Rudy works." Thank you.